You have a learning goal, and we have just one job to help you achieve it and deliver at your convenience. Learning right starts with us at Ashem Academy. We are a learning institute in partnership with professional industry bodies like Microsoft, PECB, Pearson VUE, and PSI, delivering quality training, ensuring your certification path in respective industries. Ashem Academy has training specialists with extensive consulting experience as well as the expertise to address your specific needs and preferences. Our goal is to deliver training that maximizes return on people and infrastructure investments. We define success as having the right resources to skill you up to help you meet your desired goals. Our job at Ashem Academy is to empower you to be successful at every stage of the learning journey, from training to certification to establishing professional credibility. As a certified learning partner and authorized testing center, our facility has proven to be one of the best in the country as we get to reach the needs of all ages, young, middle-aged, and those in the advancing years, making learning simple and affordable. We care about your skill development, and without breaking the bank, we present you with great opportunities to showcase your competency and expertise in your area of specialty, aiding career advancement or personal goals tracking. Let's help you bridge that learning gap. All you have to do is take the next step to enroll in our courses today, with prices that are easy on your wallets. Request access to our training calendar by emailing training@ashem.com, and you can also get the most of your learning investment by checking out our promotional offers here. offers.ashem.com/ms learning. You can call 0704-636-7151 or call 0704-576-9927. You can visit our head office at number 9 Ibikunle Street off Abad Macaulay Way, Yaba, Lagos State.
Digitization simplifies the way we collect data. Organizations collect data from multiple touchpoints to enable them to make effective, profitable, data-driven decisions. Yet, a lot of data just sits there. Why? Well, organizations operate two systems: operational or transaction systems and analytic systems. Operational systems are data repository, where you execute business processes. Analytic systems are where you make sense of your data and evaluate business processes. Analysts spend 80% of their time cleaning and preparing data to update routine reports, and only 20% of their time truly brainstorming on the numbers and extracting insight from that data. The result? Less time to ask the right questions about their data, and less time to pull variable insights that can improve your bottom line. At D. Brown Consulting, we have a better approach. We empower you to extract insights from your data at the speed of thought. We employ a curated methodology that simplifies the analytic build process to eliminate technical friction. making it easier for everyone in your organization to get the exact data they need securely. The best part? All of this can be done without relying on overburdened IT teams. D. Brown Consulting offers consultancy services in building, reporting, and analytics systems. As Microsoft Gold partners, we offer business process automation solutions with no-code and low-code applications, chatbots, and robotic process automation engines, and financial modeling services. We visualize our reports, dashboards, and analytics using the principles defined by the International Business Communication Standards, IBCS. The use of standardized notation eliminates ambiguity and ensures consistency in the design of your visualizations for more effective data storytelling. Are you looking to achieve more with your data? Contact us today. Visit dbrownconsulting.net.
Welcome to the Pride of Symbols, a people driven by the passion for excellence and the courage to take on big challenges and see them through. With integrity of mind and systems, our words, structures, and processes are always dependable. We are proud of who we are, what we do, and what we stand for. Firm is our commitment to the vision to build a globally recognized distribution company and to become the key driver of trade revolution across Africa. We have been empowered to make products and services accessible, affordable, and usable across Africa by building an efficient distribution network and to remain the market benchmark for dynamism, efficiency, and competitiveness. We are rulers. We provide order. With confidence, enthusiasm, and wit we speak. The vulnerable and voiceless we empower. This is me. This is TD Africa. We rule. We conquer. We are Simba.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to today's program, which is a global program, which is global AI program across the world. And shortly, we'll be looking at some things that happen in terms of the area of AI, what AI is all about. I'll do a short introduction just to tell you what we're going to go into in the next few minutes, and I'll bring my guests in. I know some of them already in the studio while I take the introduction. I think the first person I will introduce is Mr. Roland. He's an MVP, and he's going to come and join us in the studio to talk about this new product, not new anymore, that GPT brought us out at that time, and we are all in the same point here. Then we also have Mr. Emmanuel, that's a background sound somewhere, and we also have Mr. Sinachi. Coming somewhere. Can you check your? Okay, good. Thank you very much. Still coming back. So, generally, what we're going to do today is a concept where we talk about generally what is AI, what is going to bring on the table. Then we're going to have a workshop by Osinachi. Osinachi is an AI expert and is certified on that. We're going to take us through a workshop how to go into the OpenAI environment, how to use some of the tools there generally, and afterward we're going to come back to have a discussion with the panelists led by Emmanuel to lead us to how is the application of this OpenAI and Copilot. How do we look at it? What is the advantage we have there, and what can we gain from the use of it? So we are going to have a very wonderful time. And I know my panel, Emmanuel, is already in the studio. I think Joseph will join us soon. He's having issue with maybe his background environment. Once it's fixed, he'll come up. And Osina Chitu is in the studio. He's already joined. I think Joseph is back. Okay, Joseph is back. So as I was saying, this background noise is still there. We just have to manage it. As I was saying, we have to look at what is AI generating. So as I introduce everybody out there in this workshop, this global AI group bootcamp, I like to put something on the ground that at least put something for us to view, something for us to look at, and to give us what AI is. In 1959, some field of scientists came up with a concept, and that concept is that how do we mimic human knowledge to bring about. Can you hear me now? I think I lost everyone there. So it's a way to replicate or replace or exceed what human can do. And that is one aspect of the buzz about computing when it comes to AI. Then there are several ways by we can handle or see it. Several people started up, AI has started up since uh, early 1950 when Tommy started with the experiment to be able to justify the fact that intelligence can also be captured from a computer by creating things that can relevantly change to an extent human capability. And artificial intelligence is a field that has been given to host, replace, and change the way human thinks and how human be able to achieve what they want. And the timing of it is also very, very crucial. And all this is what he was talking about in the earlier days. Then another aspect of artificial intelligence that is very, very key is machine learning. Now, in 1997, it became very prominent for scientists, data scientists, to be able to build what we call algorithms. Algorithm is a way by which you extract data. Now, for human, we have they say we have five senses. Am I right? We have five senses, and those five senses actually is built on what we can see with our eyes, what we can hear with our ear, what we can use our mouth, our nose to breathe in, and the rest to perceive. All these are critical feature of human. And in the light of that, data to a machine can be the eye, can be the smell. So once an algorithm or model is created, it now improves with time as you allow those data to be able to build, to justify the data, go through the sampling, go to the machine learning and the rest. It creates a wheel that can extend human understanding and also bring us to more refined way. In 2017, another aspect of machine learning, which is called deep learning. Now, this is not just laying it on just certain data that you know, like I have sample of A for apple, B for ball, and I use this as a sample. definitely, if I run the algorithm, what I'm trying to figure out is that when A is apple, what I see in the other end of my result is apple. But when we are talking of using things what we call a neutral network, where we use a process that we can stimulate the data to give us an inference that can give us a perception of what can happen in future, then deep learning evolved in 2017. However, it don't stop there. Now it brings us to more in the likes of the machine learning, the genius in like the core, the ChatGPT setup, the open AI guys. They created what we call, or they were part of discovery, because it was the boss of them with Microsoft that brought about this ChatGPT boss, where we have what we call generative AI. Generative AI is a way by which we create a new wheel, and that new wheel, which reside on how we can create prompts, use the data we have to be able to have, using it on a large model, to be able to have more intense discovery. And traditionally, if you look at the scope of the model that I've developed over the time, we see several things that can come from this new, although the cost is high, deployment is slow, but we have a lot of things that is coming up across Microsoft spectrum, from the deployment, tagging those services, using it on Dynamics, using it on Office, down to using it on Azure. Then you can create tasks that can help you to objectively look at things that are beneficial to you, things that you can use to create sample that can seal what you can do. And you can create data from that, which can be individual model, where you can use to create all this in terms of the classification as a task, in terms of object tracking, in terms of crime entities across each board. And finally, you train those data. And once you train data, you'll be able to emphasize and create a custom build that can stand as your foundation. So in real sense, we look at the data, which actually is where those information come in. I said when you mimic human senses, eyes, ear, for every AI model, what to them is the data you infuse into them, the data you inject into them. So those data can be from text, image, speech, structural data. You can even 3D signal, which will now be trained. After training, it goes into your foundational model, and that model can be adaptive after some time and can span into several tasks like analysis, sentiment analysis. You can use it for information extraction if you have content on text that you can extract from it, from image capturing or object detection across each of what you want to offer. And that takes us to several ways by which in those days tuning started with this model having its several tuning have been done, almost 17 billion, and we have large model over 340 million has been captured in recent time. But when we look at what is happening recently with ChatGPT, we are talking of a model that can build on intentionally using the model to run on large data spectrum. And we're talking of a 178 billion data. So let's now look at it before we go into the keynotes. One of those thing is the I think my screen is froze for some time, but I'm back. Can you see me now? Is the use of language model, which can help you to develop several things in terms of creating your natural input, human knowledge, and the data that comes in, which are usually tokenized. And those tokenized models can be brought into probability, and those probability, the output can be decoded using language model. And apart from that, several other things can be captured. Well, the language model works in a way by which you tokenize it, and it works with numbers, and each of numbers is attributed to attribute uh, like characters, and those characters is what form what we have today as our inference that can easily give us what we want. So several aspects of this has been captured over time, and I know today we will one of us is going to showcase how the Azure AI environment looks like, and how we can uh, use it in order to create product. And the discussion now will go on to give us a way by which each of these individual token, which can naturally be discerned as human natural language, which will now be outputted as a token that which we can use to interpret it. So language model has come to stay. You can see it when we have the text injection that can actually give us an output in terms of a chart, in terms of information, in terms of image to Dolly. So we can see this is growing, and the interaction with large language model has brought us to a concept called prompt engineering. Now, what is prompt engineering? The concept is a way by which we work on this natural language, we embed by giving an input to it that can actually fine-tune the output we desire. And each of these has cut across several spectrum of Microsoft environment. And one of those that Microsoft is shooting out is Azure OpenAI service, which can use prompt engineering to tune what we want, to target where we want to go, and its response are very photogenic and very, very prompt in terms of what we, and it can also help you like having a quotient evidence, having a wheel by which you can discern what we want across each of this information. So there are several ways you can get. You can have a zero shot, you can have few shot, depending on how your prompt exercise. Like for example, try to prompt him to be able to tell him about what sport was there. And you can see the prompt here is there that the headline, coach confident injury, what derailed Warrior, and eventually language model be able to discern that this is a basketball. So invariably, we are coming, prompt engineering have come to stay, and it can also be systematic where you can have those prompts on your system, you impute it, you model it, and it gives you an inference from the ChatGPT 4, which is far better than the one we have outside there, which is the free one. And the demo will get us to see how we can use system prompt against user prompt. And I think even the demo will take us to see several several reasons where we also need to have responsibility across the AI model. Because one thing about AI is being able to account for what you do. So Microsoft is also infusing prompt engineering with the ability, with a tone to which we have to work in a responsible way. So we're going to see what we have in Open Azure AI, how we can call those things and make the response at the right time. And several things can come out. You can customize it. And Microsoft OpenAI environment, which is the playground, can give you way by which you can actually design it in a way that it can assist you, it can guide you. And one thing about the Azure environment is the ability to fine tune it. Now, when I talk about fine tuning AI, I usually use, if you have been to music or you are used to things like keyboard, sorry, not keyboard, like drum set or a guitar. A guitar reading doesn't really come handy except you fine tune it. And while you are fine tuning it, what you are doing is that to give you the precise tune, the precise musical note you want. Also in AI, in order to have better output in terms of prompting, in terms of the model, you must have a way by which you fine tune it. And when you fine tune it, you are making the prompt to have exact information that you want the response to come from. And when you fine tune it, it gives you that present way. So the takeaway in this intro is to help us to know that the model is not really replacing developers. If you're a developer out there, we are not saying that we're taking off the market. What this is really saying is that we are at a point at which we are creating ways by which you can ease business, ease our output, and make sure that we're having a way that it can easily interface with the computer program and the AI model and have a better business output. So that is all we're going to do today. I'm going to start with the keynote. After the keynote, we'll move into the demo like workshop. We love to have the workshop. Actually was supposed to be something that is practical, but if you have been in West Africa or in Africa for the past few weeks now, we have been experiencing internet downtime because of submarine cable that was, so we don't want to give our users or our viewers that kind of experience. So what we decide to do is to have the demo. We have it recorded, you can watch it, and you can see all those features in Azure OpenAI, and you can use that as a way to have a better one. There's a GitHub environment that you can go from global AI Bootcamp 2024, where you can get guidance on what you need to do and how to go about it. But for this particular section, we are just going to show it, and we're going to go straight to the discussion, and we're going to look at how we can be guided in using this. So let's just go straight to the global keynote. Just stay tuned with us, and we'll be right back.
Hi everyone, AI enthusiasts from all around the world. Welcome to the Global AI Bootcamp 2024. What a year 2023 has been, am I right? It feels like the entire world went a little crazy. But hey, at least we got some amazing advancements in AI out of it. The evolution of LLMs and small language models has been mind-boggling fast. And let's not forget the integration of vision into these models. It's like AI suddenly developed superhero powers overnight. But let me ask you something, my fellow AI enthusiasts. Do you also find it incredibly hard to keep up with all the latest updates? I mean, seriously. It's like trying to catch a hyperactive squirrel on roller skates. It's a never-ending race to stay on top of the latest AI trends and developments. Now, I know you're all expecting a fantastic video this year, but guess what? We've got something even better in store for you. We've been on a worldwide adventure traveling around the globe, interviewing industry leaders from different companies and cloud providers. Why? Well, we want to delve deeper into the fascinating interaction between humans and AI. And let me tell you, the insights we've gathered are mind-blowing. But wait, I don't want to keep you waiting any longer. How about a little sneak peek? Yes, you heard me right. We've got a preview video ready to give you a taste of what's to come. Brace yourself for Human Hearts, Silicon Minds, the show that will make you question everything you thought you knew about AI and its impact on our lives.
You and I have the mighty human brain, the ultimate in, AGI.
I'm more of the belief that these artificial intelligence models are going to be used to make humans more productive.
Are fundamentally not intelligent systems. As I said, it's an algorithm that's predicting out the next word from things. It's a very useful algorithm.
So for example, if I were to take a glass of water and I had ice cubes on the bottom of the glass of water, an AI might be able to say, hey, those ice cubes are in the wrong spot, but doesn't reason, oh, they need to float.
So it's not intelligence that makes you able to complete tasks well. It's actually expertise. It's actually experience.
When they say they love me, it doesn't really mean there's that chemical happening within the machine that we feel as human beings, right? So that's an area that I think we need to be very careful about.
What you do with an assistant is you don't explicitly tell it what to do. Instead, you give it powers.
Like the older generation, they have no idea about what is going on, and they trust everything that they see, right? So they don't have this knowledge that you cannot trust everything that you see, that you listen, that you receive.
So we should hold ourselves to a higher bar, even if it's not against the law. If it's not illegal, doesn't mean we should do it.
Now, I know you're all eager to watch the entire series, and I promise you won't have to wait long. Over the next few weeks, we'll be releasing all the episodes on our YouTube channel. And of course, we'll be keeping you updated on all the latest news and behind-the-scene action on our social media channels. So make sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube and follow us for all the AI goodness coming your way. And let's dive headfirst into the world of AI. Happy learning, everyone.
Welcome back. Sorry, I noticed my system was freezing. Sorry for that. I'll just bring the guests back. Joseph, you can, from the keynote, before Osinachi is ready, can just take us to the workshop and the demo. You can see a lot of things that is coming up, a lot of areas that is glaring that AI is taking charge. It's more like an extension that's going to come, and a lot of investment have been placed on this area, and we must be certain that we now build up our enterprise, our businesses across all this to be able to have a formidable application that can help to ease what we do. So what do you feel about the keynote? I'll just give you some few minutes and just wait for Sinachi to come up. Joseph, what do you feel about the keynote? I hope I'm not freezing again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shea, and thank you for having me. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, we can hear you. We lost you now. We can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay. I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you so much. So from the keynote, so one thing that is very key is the future, right? The future is very bright, and we are at the early stage of AI movement. We're looking at the impact that this is going to have right in the future. I mean, such as the healthcare, the transportation system, right? And even the way we interact and communicate, right, with ourselves, and the impact that this is going to have in the business as a whole. So what I'll say is there's nothing to be scared of, right? We are on the right path, and let's have an open mind, right, to learn, educate ourselves, and then take opportunity. Take advantage of the opportunity that AI will present to us.
Okay, thank you for that. I think Osinachi is in the studio. Osinachi, are you ready for a demo?
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes, I am.
okay, okay. So we give you the stage. You have to share your screen so that we can see what you are doing. Uh, we give you the stage now. So while Osinachi is getting ready, Emmanuel, what do you think is the future with what AI we are seeing about AI generally from the
Well,
keynote?
I think the future actually looks so bright from the perspective, because I've actually interacted with a couple of colleagues in the office. Like, I remember having a conversation with one of my colleagues in the office around IVR system, for example, for contact center agents, right? So he did an example. He made a call to a particular contact center, and he said that what he wanted to do throughout the entire conversation, like, you remember, if you call MTN, they will say press one for English, press two, different menu like that. He said that he doesn't like to press anything. What if, so he did a demo for me right there, right there. So I knew the AI service that is working is actually the text to speech and the speech to text that is actually working at the backend. So it just the AI was just speaking out. Welcome to our contact center. If you want to do this, you can either the AI was even giving the option. You can either press the option or choose to say it. So far you can pronounce what you want. One, two, the AI was going to actually respond to that prompt. So the future is actually so much beautiful with this technology coming in, making interaction, making things seamless for us. So the future
Yeah,
is very beautiful, yeah.
yeah, the future is beautiful, and we should be ready. As Joseph said, we should not be scared. So, Osinachi, we go behind, we just wait for you to finish your demo. Then, as I said, this is supposed to be a workshop where we want all our viewers out there to also follow what Osinachi is saying, but due to several internet search that we have in West Africa, we are scared so that we not put people into different. So Osinachi, you can take the stage while
Right. Just to confirm, can everyone hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
Oh, I was sharing my screen. I think I stopped sharing. So confirm that you can see my screen. Hello.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, all right. So let's get started. So today, I'll be doing a demo on Azure OpenAI, right? But before I get started, like Mr. Sheyi has introduced me, my name is Osnachi Chukujama. I am I'm a certified Azure AI engineer, also a software engineer, and I love exploring AI and its applications in software, the software we use every day. So today I'll be doing a demo on Azure OpenAI. Azure OpenAI is an Azure service that allows you to use OpenAI APIs or OpenAI models, right? So um, except you've been living under a rock, you must have heard of ChatGPT. It was released 2 years. What was it? 2 years ago? Yeah, I think it was 2022 December or November. So almost 2 years ago, and it took the world by storm since then. It has been applied in so many areas, and they also have their own APIs. But if you're an Azure customer and you use Azure in your organization, it makes sense for you to use OpenAI from Azure as part of an Azure service. So you use the same billing that you've been using for your organization, and you can feed into the data that you already use and whatnot. So we'll be doing a quick demo today. So if you are privileged to have access to an Azure portal in your organization, you probably can create an OpenAI resource. So this is the Azure portal. This is my own Azure portal, and it's just listing out the resources I have. So if you go to create a resource and search for OpenAI, if you go straight to the AI and machine learning, we should be able to. Okay, it doesn't show up here, so we can type OpenAI here. And we should see it show up on the marketplace, Azure OpenAI. So if you go ahead to create this resource, you select the subscription you're using and your resource group. But not everybody has access to Azure OpenAI. You would have to request for access. So this is the request form. I already have it open here. So you just go through it, fill it, and get access to it. So you still use the same billing that your organization already uses. Luckily, I have a subscription that has access. So you create it just like any other Azure resource, right? You create it, you add the details, the resource group, the region details, the name, pricing tier. So it's only standard for now. You add details about the network and you go ahead to submit. So I won't waste too much time to create a new resource. I'm going to use the existing one I have. I go home. So an open AI resource I've already created. I created it I created it my first open AI resource. I should increase my screen size so that you can see better. My first open AI resource 101. So you can, if you're able to create this, you can go through it, look at the keys and the endpoints in case you want to integrate it into a custom application. So you see that we are giving a particular endpoint. This is a unique URL associated with our OpenAI resource. So you can use this endpoint and the one of the keys to work with this OpenAI resource. You can build a custom application that uses this OpenAI resource. So many things you can do. So you can build your own custom ChatGPT website with this key and endpoints. So, but where our demo today will lie is the OpenAI Studio. So if we go to oai.azure.com, I think we can also access it from here on this resource. Yeah, you see, go to Azure OpenAI Studio. So the OpenAI Studio allows us to interact with different applications of Azure OpenAI. Right, this is the studio for me. So this is my current directory and the resource I showed you earlier. Right, so you can do several things on the studio. This is the getting started guide. You can do text generation. You can bring your own data. You can this is for assistance. This is for chat, similar to ChatGPT. You can also do text completions and also even generate images. So we'll just do a quick overview over these things. So I can close this. This is just showing that it's the new OpenAI Studio, Azure AI Studio for OpenAI. So let's look at the first thing, chat. So chat allows you to chat with a GPT-3 model, just like you do with ChatGPT. So select templates. You can use templates. You can use system messages. Templates is just like fine tuning or what we call prompt engineering, fine tuning your chatbot to behave the way you want it to behave. Right. So these are different assistants So they are pre-configured by the developers of Azure OpenAI so that you can get started as fast as possible. But we would not dwell on that. We can use system message to customize or prompt engineer our AP our OpenAI model. We can also speak our input. So let's start with something simple. Um, Something simple we can ask. Let's see. How many countries are in Africa? Send this twice. Okay. You should see a response. So there are 54 recognized countries in Africa. So that's very simple, right? You can ask it which country has the largest population. Nigeria has the largest population with over 200 million. So this is a normal way a GPT-3 model will answer you. The normal way ChatGPT will answer you. So this is the system message. You are an AI assistant that helps people find information. So we can prompt this AI to behave differently. We can tell it to let's see. We can tell it to answer in let's see answer like a 5-year-old child, right? You are an AI assistant. Assistant. Is that the spelling of assistant? That answers like a 5-year-old child. So with this, we have to save it. We apply changes. So with this system message set, a new chat session is started. We can decide to clear the previous chat, but we can leave it anyways. So which let me ask this question again. Which country in Africa has the largest population? Okay, you see? Oh, I know this one. It's Nigeria. They have lots and lots of people there. You see, it's very different from how it answered before when we had not added this system message about the child. This is how a typical like American kid will answer, right? Maybe you can tell it to act like a Nigerian 5-year-old child, and you can keep prompting it like that, right? So to act the way we want it to act. So I'm just going to ask that question again. So yeah, this is kind of how a Nigerian will sound. We are many, many people. So you see, it said we are many because it's a Nigerian child. I specified it as a Nigerian child. So that's just a basic overview of prompt engineering. You can use the system message to do prompt engineering. You can use examples. Examples is like completion, um, user as an assistant. So if the user asks something like, mm, how many con- how many states are in Nigeria, its response with maybe Madam, you should not ask me obvious questions. There are 36 states in Nigeria. Come back when you have something better to ask. So this is just one example, right? We can add another example. How many, which city in Nigeria has the largest population? And you can answer, Madam, it's obviously Lagos. Stop asking obvious questions. So this is another way of prompt engineering. You give it examples, right? I can clear this system message so that it doesn't disrupt. We give it examples, right? Then it's going to be able to answer like those examples. So let's see if that works. Um, how many states are in the south east of Nigeria? Okay. Didn't use the examples per se. Maybe we need to add more examples, but let's just move on. Let's move on. I'm going to show other things. I'm going to show you DAL-E image generation. So with the OpenAI deployment, you're able to generate images with DAL-E. Okay, I think they have updated it to DAL-E 3. So we'll be able to see more realistic images. So let's even start with DAL-E 2. Create a realistic image of Lagos, Nigeria. So let's see what it's going to give us. Might take a while. Okay, this is so not realistic. Let me expand it so I can see. So this is DALI 2. DALI 2 is not as realistic as DALI 3. So let's use that same prompt on DALI 3. Okay, it's going to take a while for the deployment to complete. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that in 5 minutes time. So let's look at deployment. So after creating your OpenAI resource on your Azure portal, right, you need to create something called a deployment. So this deployment is where you set the model that you want to use. So let's create a new deployment. So the models available to me are GPT-3, 3.5 text embeddings. I see that they have added GPT-4. Okay, but it's not available to me right now. They say no quota is available to deploy this model. All right, so I don't have access to GPT-4, any of the GPT-4. But normally you would want to like use GPT-3, maybe GPT-3 Turbo. This is the same. I think this is the same model that is used on ChatGPT. You can allow it to auto update. You can give it a name, my ChatGPT kind of model. You can set advanced options. So if you reduce the token per minute, your model takes less time to deploy, but the context is smaller. So I think if you have been on the news on AI, you must have heard that AI models can read entire books now. Previously, they could only read maybe a message or a block of text, but now they can read entire books. So this is what this token per minute rate is kind of what is part of. It's what is part of, right? So it can take only 30 tokens per minute. If we put it to very high, it's going to be able to take 229, 230. Okay, that's the maximum, but it's going to take longer time to deploy. So let's leave it as 5. So we can leave this dynamic quota enabled. So in case there's a change in service from the Azure side, it's going to be able to take advantage of that. So can create it. It submits the deployment, and you can see the deployments I've previously created. Okay, this is the one I created now. This first model, second model, both of them are GPT Turbo 16K. This is just a normal GPT Turbo, and this is DAL-E. DAL-E it started getting deployed when we came to this page. I think it has even deployed. Let's see how long it takes to generate the image. Okay, that succeeded. This is definitely not Lagos, but it looks much better than this first one. Right? Maybe this is what Lagos could be. It's kind of how Lagos is. I mean, there's the water, there are the slums, there are the umbrella women, there are the um, what they call this? What they call this Lagos cars again, buses again? Danfo, yeah, Danfos, and they're the big buildings. Maybe this is UBA and this is First Bank and the rest. So you can actually play with it. So it's cool. You can actually see it on Bing if you go check and explore other kinds of models. Completions is like chats, but it's just going to like complete text. Like I can see I don't have a completions model. Uh, is Tolu in I Tolu. My name is Bolachi. Uh, where are you from? So let's see if he's able to complete this. Okay, you see? So our completions model is actually generating a lot. So we can actually set the parameters here. So this is what we put so far, her, him, her. So you see it continues from it actually added the question mark for us. I'm from Ogun State, her, I'm from Lagos State, that's nice. I love Lagos State, blah 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 blah. So we can actually put here the temperature is set at 1, so it's going to generate very exact text. If we set the temperature as say 0.1, let's see how that holds up. It might hallucinate. But it did not. Maybe this is a very direct question answer model. Okay, let's see. Instead of her saying, let's say, tell me a story. Tell me a story. So let's see, tell me a story with the temperature of 0.1, and we'll see. Okay. Let's see how it's going to talk. This story is about them falling in love. Let's see how it will hold up on a temperature of 1. Mm. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So with a higher temperature, the model is more likely to be more creative. So before the model just talked about them getting married, but here it's talking about magical land, mountains, and those other things. So this is just one part of customizing the completions model. So the completions model is very similar to normal ChatGPT, but it's tuned for completions and not chats. So you put in an example of how a conversation or how an interaction is going to be, and it's going to complete it for you. Right. So that's this demo. Assistant is basically just templates that allow you um to like have to save different types of bots that you want to be using. Right, it's the same thing as the chat, but with your own specified instructions and the assistant's name. Let's call this tourist assistant. You are an expert on tourist locations in Nigeria. So we're using the first model deployment. I'll just save it. I can even create another one. Um, Politics assistant. You are an expert in geopolitics. So save this too. So where are all our assistants? Should be a list. Go back here. Mm. So let's just ask a few questions to this assistant. Um, who killed? Who was that U.S. president that was killed? How does having nuclear weapons affect Iran? So this is a geopolitical assistant. He's going to be able to give us an expert answer on geopolitical matters, right? So see how detailed the answer is. Talks about the significance of having nuclear weapons in Iran, national security, regional influence, negotiating power, and the rest. So it's just for you to be able to save your assistants and have them. Okay, these are all our assistants. These are our tourist assistants. You can open it up. So instead of putting a system message anytime you want to talk to a particular type of GPT, you just set an assistant for that. Um, where can I visit in the southeast? So Coal City, he just talks about the different cities in the southeast. Yeah, I was expecting it to talk about the okay. It talks about some tourist location in these different cities. So yes, our assistants are working as they should. Let's see if it saves the chat session. Okay, it does not. Maybe you should be maybe in the future they'll add a way for you to save the chat so that it doesn't disappear. So that's the basic idea. That's the basic overview of the Azure OpenAI Studio. We can do much more, but this is this demo is really becoming a bit long, so I have to stop here. If there was more time, I would have looked into add your own data where you can ask mod you can prompt question you can ask questions about your own data. Like I have an example here. I think I'm not just yes. So I have this tourist location document. It talks about places to visit in Africa. So if we upload, it's just a text file. It has different places. Talks about Ethiopia, different places.
You can have the demo.
No. It's going to take time, right?
Just if a flip of it.
Okay, so I mean, the whole idea of adding your own data is you add your data source. There are different data sources: Azure Blob, Cosmos DB, Elasticsearch, maybe a website, and you uploading files directly, right? So these upload files and Azure Blob is probably what you would be using, right? Let's see. But the thing is that you need to have two extra resources. You need to have an Azure AI search resource, and you also need an Azure Blob storage. The reason for having Azure AI search is so that it's going to be able to tokenize the data. So no matter what data you're adding, it's going to break down the data into tokens and index it. so that it can be able to easily retrieve information from your data source. So whether you're using blob storage or the rest, you must still have Azure AI Search. Even uploading files directly, you still need Azure AI Search. So that's okay. I deployed one earlier. Maybe we'll be able to do it. Maybe I should finish creating this storage account. So I created this search service, and I also am creating a storage account now. It shouldn't waste time. So after doing that, I'm going to use the upload files because I already have the files here. So I already have text files. It can be PDF, it can be a Word document, just any file that can be read from. But for good measure, just leave it as a text file or a PDF. So maybe your organization has a lot of data that it wants to be able to prompt, ask questions about. So you can get all those data, um, put them in a viable format, maybe a text file, or maybe you can just put the data already exists in um, MongoDB, so you can use that one. You can use that one too. Elasticsearch too. Elasticsearch is still in preview, so that will come later. Or maybe you already have some data in Azure AI Search. But let's go use this one. I'm going to select the blob service. Is it? Yes, this storage account is ready. Let me refresh. So this is the one I just deployed, AI storage account 033. This is the one I deployed. If I go to resource, you can see it better. AI storage account 033. So it talks about needing permission. So you just click turn on course. Azure AI search resource. Okay, I already created the search service tool to index name. So this is where I had fear of it failing. So it's going to need to index the data. Let me try this again. I'm going to refresh. Hopefully it doesn't fail this time. Okay, it doesn't fail. Tourist locations in Africa. So I think that should be enough. So this is where it wants us to upload those files. So I'm going to just come here. There are 4 documents. So I'll just put them in. Oh. Okay, I need to click browse for the file. I'm going to go to my desktop. 4 documents, upload files. Search type keyword. So we'll allow the chunk size to be 1024. It's just how small it breaks down the document, right? Or how many tokens it uses. So let's save and close. It's going to take about, I don't know. I think the last time I did it took 2 minutes. So let's see how long it will take. While that happens, let's look at the other parts. So I think for my service or for my subscription or group of subscriptions, a lot of people have already deployed GPT-4. That's why I can't deploy it. But GPT-4 is a very powerful model, very, very powerful. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to demo it here. These text embedding models are just used to create embeddings. Embeddings are like the tokenization output from a chat session. And these are the GPT 3.5 models available. 3.5 double. These are like, I think, the bigger the number, the newer the model is. Let's see if this has completed. Okay. So it's still pre-processing is complete, so it's doing the indexing now. You shouldn't waste too much time because the documents are not very large. So 0.0% complete. So while it's going on, I'm going to just ask if there's any question in the chat or any question the from anyone.
No question on the
Sashi,
chat.
is there any question at all?
There's no question on the chat.
No problem. Okay. So the it's complete now. The indexing is complete. So let's ask a question. Where can I see giraffe? How do you spell giraffe? Giraffe in Africa. I don't have to add in Africa because all the questions will be based on the documents already provided. So if I just ask where can I see giraffes, it's going to only limit the answer to Africa. To Africa tourist locations in this case. Giraffes can be found in various locations in Africa, including the following: national park, national reserve, national park. So you see, it gives references. So these references are those documents we provided, right? So based on the data in the document, show you it's going to show you where it got that data from. So 10 most famous big game reserve, 10 best countries to visit in Africa. Just do we have that? I think we have something like that in the document. 24 places to visit in Africa. So this is this one. And it says part two. So the documents were broken down into different sections. So that's what chunking does. So that's why we have part one, part two. Depending on how big the document is, we can have different parts. So these are just citations. So depending on on your document, you can see different parts of where the data was gotten from. Let's see one of the citations. Kruger National Park. So is there a mention of Kruger National Park here? I can check it directly from the document. I'm just going to search Kruger. Yes, Kruger National Park. So it doesn't talk about giraffes in particular, but since it's a GPT model, it's able to use its own embedded data along with your own. I think I searched for giraffes earlier. Let's see if there's any mention of giraffes in the document. Okay, it did talk about giraffe. And you can ask even more questions. Let's see. You can ask where can I take hot bath, take hot lake bath, or mud bath. So it's a way to bring life into your documents, chat with your documents. You can use it in so many applications. You can use it at work. You can use it for school. You can use it for research. Just different ways. Let's see if he mentions. Okay, there's only one reference here. Only one reference here. Chamarel. Let's see. Okay, he didn't talk about it. But he talked about Mauritius. Yes. All right, so I think that's actually enough information on bringing your own data. So the whole idea is that you'd come to the OpenAI, you come to the OpenAI studio, you add your data, maybe you upload the file directly, or you then get it from blob storage. And if we even go to our blob storage, we go to containers, we should see the data that was uploaded. So you see file upload tourist locations in Africa. So those are the four files we uploaded. You can see them here. And if we go to our search service, we should be able to see the chunked files. Let's go to indexes. So this is the search service, AI search service. Okay, it's still loading. Sometimes it's VPN issues. This page does not load. Sometimes, so just okay. Should be an index, not an indexer. Yes. So there are 26 documents inside. It was able to break those four documents into 26 parts. You can see the different parts, and all those parts were indexed. So we can actually search from here. Um, Kruger, I think we talked about Kruger National Park. So you can see data about it. If you search something that is not in part of the document, you will not see anything. Maybe if we talk about, what can we talk about? Um, Donald Trump. I don't think we should see anything. So there's no index. The value is empty. So there's no index about Donald Trump. So it just works based on the data you have. Right. So that's the basic idea of using the OpenAI. And if you're a developer, you can integrate it into a custom application. I have a GitHub. Um, I have a GitHub of these documents I showed. I deployed it in this application, not deployed per se, but I set it up in this application such that it uses it uses an API from using an API from Azure OpenAI. I'm just going to show a bit of the code. Let's see. So it actually used the SDK, not it didn't use I didn't use the APIs directly. I used the OpenAI client. So I used it from here. Sorry, OpenAI client. See, I imported it from Azure OpenAI. So this is for the developers. If you're not a developer, you don't have to feel left out. It's you can still do everything from the playground. So this is where I set the chat completions, and we're able to use the output in an application. So I think that's all for my demo. I've looked at all parts of Azure OpenAI, looked at completions, DALL-E, bringing your own data, and even integrating it into a custom application. So I hope this um, improve your drive to use Azure OpenAI, use AI into existing products, and and the likes. Thank you very much for listening to my very long demo, and I hope I meet you some other time in the future.
Okay, thank you, Sinachi. It was a wild, at least giving us the in-depth about OpenAI service. And one thing that captured my mind as I bring the other people on board is that the advantage we have by using it for our own business. Now, bringing GPT into our office, we are trying to create a way by we can extend our productivity by relying on our data to influence what our customers, our users be able to use our data to exploit our product, etc. So it's a very welcoming task, and I know that the next section, which is the section where we discuss about it. So I bring in Emmanuel to just take the center stage, and let's talk about this more in detail.
All right. Awesome session, Sinachi, with the Azure Open AI services. I mean, I've actually explored the Azure Open AI myself, and I remember the last project I worked on was integrating it with the Copilot Studio. Like I'm using the Microsoft Copilot Studio to actually build custom AI, custom copilots, and integrating with Azure Open AI. So it's actually an awesome one. So I would like to like ask a few questions around the Copilot Studio, even around the Open AI. So like in terms of security and privacy. So since Copilot is built on Open AI ChatGPT model, does Copilot share any information with Open AI?
Okay, the question is directed to me.
Yes.
So you said if you integrate OpenAI API with Copilot,
Yes.
does it share information with
Information.
OpenAI?
Yes.
No, if you deploy OpenAI, an OpenAI model from your Azure portal, all the data you use, all the data you interact with is going to be part of that model. It's not going to go to OpenAI. It's not going to go to anywhere. So it allows us to create very private models, right? Unlike the chat GPT that everybody uses, where the data, the chat conversations you have can be reviewed by by human reviewers, but the data you interact with for Azure OpenAI is not used in that way.
Awesome. 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 Um, Joseph, still talking about privacy and security. Is it possible for IT admins to monitor or use the audit intra ID activity or use in Copilot session? Copilot, can they actually see every of our search history? Is it possible for IT admins to monitor them? Hi, Joseph. Can you hear me? I think I lost Joseph there. Let's give him a second to join back. Hi, Joseph. Are you back? Okay. What's that? Do you want to take that? Let me take the question again.
So like IT admins monitoring or audit intra ID activity using the Copilot Studio. Can they see any of my search history, things I've searched for? I just have you back.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
okay. Yes. So sorry, I was disconnected.
No worries. No worries.
Please, can you take the question again?
Yes. So in terms of privacy and security, can IT admin monitor or audit intra ID activity or usage in Copilot? Can they see my search history? Stuff like that.
Okay. So, to the best of my knowledge, this is not what is currently supported. This feature is not currently available. Maybe in the near future, based on security concern, it is something that Microsoft will want to consider, right? Or they wouldn't. But at the moment, it is not available.
Awesome, 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 awesome. So it's not possible. So I can do my search and everything is written in Copilot's chat, and my IT admin cannot actually audit it. Awesome. Osinachi, I have a question interesting around employees. Like, how will my employees know that I have a commercial data protection when using Copilot?
So, your employees, how would they know you have commercial data protection when using Copilot?
Yes.
So, I think the OpenAI contract clearly states that, or the Azure OpenAI contract clearly states that your data is within your organization, right? So, if you can assure your employees that your models are not the public models that are used by every other person, but the private models deployed under the Azure platform, they should be able to be rest assured that you have commercial privacy for their data and all the interactions they do in your business.
Awesome, awesome. Because I know that most times, even it's only eligible employees using Copilot with commercial data protection. They must actually first of all sign in. If they sign in into the copilot.microsoft.com using their work or school account, then when commercial data protection is turned on, then the Copilot feature is a unique design. At the above input box or the top of every chat and answer, so you see a message that says your personal and company data are protected in this chat, so it is not exposed to any other people outside the people that are outside the organization. Awesome, awesome. Is it possible to prevent sensitive internal content from being summarized using maybe Copilot in the Microsoft Edge for business, or even using the Copilot itself in the Microsoft Teams? Um, Joseph, do you want to help us with that?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so your question is if it is possible to prevent sensitive internal content from being summarized by Copilot.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. So Edge has a feature, right, that enforces data protection and data loss, right? I think it's called DLP. Okay, so this is the way through which organization can, protect their data. So once this feature is enabled, right? So when this feature is enabled, right? Is to protect your internal data from being exposed.
Awesome, awesome. So the data loss
Uh,
prevention that is, yeah, go ahead,
okay, go
please.
on.
So the
Go
data
on.
loss prevention that is actually infused in different Microsoft 365 services is also applicable to the Microsoft Copilot also. to prevent those sensitive informations from getting out to people that are not supposed to actually have access to such a sensitive information.
Yes, and also I think that there are a couple of Microsoft products that handles information loss and data protection very well, right, at the user level. So you can also, I think, Intune and Microsoft Defender for cloud apps. These are some of the applications that you can explore, to prevent data loss and protect your data.
Awesome, awesome. The MEM and the MDM also. Yes, the Microsoft Intune also protected. Awesome. What's actually is it possible to use Copilot with any browser? And if is Copilot also accessible via APIs? It's not sure.
Okay, yeah, Emmanuel, you asked whether it's possible to use Copilot in browser.
Yes.
Yes. So Copilot comes pre-enabled on Microsoft Edge, right? So with Microsoft Edge, you can go directly to Copilot and start asking questions, getting designs using Microsoft Designer and the rest, right? So yeah, so you just have Microsoft Edge both on mobile and on desktop. So you use Copilot within Microsoft Edge.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, looking at assets, Joseph, in terms of managing assets, how can I ensure that people in my network who use Copilot and maybe Microsoft 365 charts in Bing, they have access to commercial data protection? I take it again. In terms of assets, managing assets, how can I ensure that people in my network who use Copilot and Microsoft 365 charts in Bing have access to the commercial data protection?
Who is the question directed to?
It's for Joseph. It's for Joseph.
Okay. I pitch. Okay. Hello.
Hi, Joseph.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Joseph. Can hear you.
Oh, okay. So the question is about
managing assets. Yes.
Okay. How do you manage access to prevent data protection, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is service plan, right? That it requires to be enabled. Okay. So this is available on Bing. Okay, and this comes through the IT admin, right? So once this feature is enabled on Bing, right, you are ensure that your data is protected. Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So the IT admin can make configuration in Copilot service plan to require their eligible users to always have commercial data protection in Copilot. So this configuration apply people access through Bing Edge windows. So it can be it can be accessible via the link copilot.microsoft.com or the Copilot mobile app.
Awesome.
Hello?
Awesome. Yeah, I can hear you. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Now, if you look at some educational institutes, they also would like to actually try out the copilots that to see if it is actually something they can use in the organization, in the institute. Like outside of using Copilot service plan to manage access for like students, what else is recommended to prepare educational institutions for Copilot? Osinachi, can you take that?
Can you take the question again, please?
So for educational institutes, for example, now they also would like to have access to copilots to be able to try it out to see if it's going to actually be useful to them. So outside of using the Copilot service plan that Joseph mentioned earlier to manage access for students, what else is recommended to prepare educational institutions for Copilot?
Okay, so there's this thing called Microsoft Admin Center, right? For Microsoft for Education has something called Microsoft Admin Center. So it allows admins or IT admin control age classification to the users. So maybe educational institutes, maybe like a university, where there are people that are not up to date, you prevent them from using Copilot and maybe, or you restrict the Copilot output based on the age grouping. So you can do all these things from Microsoft Admin Center.
Awesome, awesome. So with the help of the admin center, organization can request for access and they'll be able to have access as an institution. Awesome. Um, Shay, if my company block access to things around adult content for implementing sales search and with a prosy redirect, will Copilot still be accessible to users in my organizations?
Well, if I get your question correctly, if um, there's a security setting that's already implemented to block some content, especially adult content, uh, for my users for having access, will Copilot still work?
Mm-hmm.
So, if I'm right, is that the question?
That's a question. That's a question.
Okay. So I feel Copilot will still work because part of the governance across OpenAI and AI in general is the responsible AI. And the point of responsible AI is to create structure, security measure to protect and prevent such content, such usage that can abuse what AI is meant for, because it's an office setting. So, because it's restricted on that level, it can only be accessible when the content you are using is actually following the process and the responsibility given to it. So anything outside it will not be accessible. Anything within it should be able to be accessible.
Awesome, awesome. Copilot will still be accessible instead, but the content, since there's a safe search already, the Copilot will still be available for them. Thank you very much for that. OC, I have a very interesting question. What are the kind of things can college students do with Copilot? The kind of things they can do with Copilot? How can it help them for them to be more productive in their studies and all that?
can do so much with copilots, right? From asking copilots how they can improve their study. We'll work with copilots to draft out a study plan work with their that will work with their time and their schedule. So taking notes to assuming they take notes in class, you can discuss the notes with co-pilot and get better knowledge. They can improve their writing, right? Maybe they are writing a paper for an assignment, so they can improve some sentences, some paragraphs of the writing. They can help. I can ask Copilot how they can manage stress because university students are always stressed, and basically make it a partner or an assistant. Ask it how they can manage stress, focus on work, and so. So you can do a lot with Copilot.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I believe the students joining us in this conversation will see that pilots can actually help them to be more productive, even as they are in school. All right. The next question, Joseph, I want to actually help us to clarify this. What are the best way to verify the accuracy of information provided by copilots? What are the best way to verify the accuracy of information provided by Copilot?
Okay, so to answer that, there are a few steps. Now, when you are using Copilot provide citations, right? And let's be assured that this Copilot is built on large data. Okay, so with it provides citation and references. Okay, so you can use these references, right, as a point. And also, you have to, once you get answer from Copilot, okay, you also have to do your own research too, right, to actually see that some of the results that you get, maybe right, validate what you are getting from Copilot.
Awesome, 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 awesome. I remember the project I did. I had to confirm: is this Copilot really giving me the answers that I've actually imputed there to verify? I had to even go with my team to check. Okay, can you prompt different way to see to confirm what the answers the custom Copilot is actually providing if they're correct. Thank you so much for that. Um, Shay, we've been hearing about translation in Copilot. How does it work? How does translation work in Copilot?
Um, Translation generally, we know that the boss of ChatGPT generative AI is actually running your algorithm against large model. And because large language model, which is called LLM, is actually being used as a way by which we can inference from it information that we require. So when you start using that for translation, then you be rest assured that Copilot will generally use the content you have. For example, anything that is related to Microsoft Copilot are basically running on what we have as language translation on Bing. So as long as Bing language translation model is in, you might not be able to attach it to a public. There is no, you cannot add any public list there. So it use the Bing language translation to translate any language within the scope that is being infused into the large language model. So generally, what I mean is that the language that is stored in Bing is what Copilot use. And how does it use it? It translates those language model that is uh, already trained, already gotten from Bing to be able to give you the answer that you require or the information you want in another language translation.
Awesome, awesome. LLM is what Copilot is actually using to actually do the translation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shay, for that. Osi, the next question: how does the file upload works in Copilot? I remember during your demo, you uploaded some files. How does it work in Copilot? How does Copilot use those files upload to actually, answer those questions?
Okay, so on Copilot, there's like a paperclip icon. Basically, just upload the file and you can ask questions about the file, right? So it's just it's an ephemeral thing. So when you upload the file, you ask questions about the file. If you close that session, it goes away. So because of the commercial data protection promises, the file and the content are not safe, or they are not used to train the model further. It's just you and your file, and you asking questions to it, right? So with Copilot, the one that everybody can use, the upload limit is 1 MB, right? So you can't upload something more than 1 MB. So you just limit your file size. If you have a big PDF, you can maybe break it up before you upload, and you can only upload 5 files per day, right? So the format supported are PDF, this is PNG, JPEG. That you can upload both images, PDFs. You can upload text files. You can upload Office files, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Doc, HTML files too. So a lot of things you can upload.
Awesome, awesome. File upload is actually very important. I remember the custom copilots we worked on. We had to upload some PDF from our internal documentations to ensure that it's accessible to users. So when they prompt the copilot, just picking those informations from the PDF from the internal documentation and provide the answers for the self-service. Thank you so much for that, Osi. All right. I have another interesting questions. For Microsoft 365 Copilot, how does it handles and protects my sensitive data and information? I don't know if Joseph would like to take that. For Microsoft 365 Copilot, how does it handle and protect sensitive data and information? Hi, Joseph. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. So it seems to be a lot of question on security.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Interesting. So, sorry, there's background noise. There's a lot of background noise. Please, I don't know if you can mute that. Um, hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay. So Microsoft 365 has a permission model, right, within your tenant, which helps you to ensure that data will not leak between users and groups. Okay. So you can check the Microsoft privacy statement, right, for that. But let's assure that you have to be assured that, okay, that the permission model within Microsoft 365 tenants, right, can help you to prevent data leak. Okay, so with the Microsoft privacy statement, you have more detailed guideline, right, on how you can implement that within your tenants.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Most of the concerns of organizations have to do with security, compliance, and protection of data. They don't want people, maybe junior officers in the organizations, to have access to sensitive data that maybe the heads or the executives should have access to. So most of the times, the concerns around the AI models are always about the security, compliance, and protection of data. Thank you so
Yeah, and
much.
that's it's. I mean, data protection is very important, right? Because um, that is like the bedrock of an organization. I mean, imagine if there's a data leak, right? You know what the harm that can cause to the organization, right? So it is important as IT admin, an organization, that we pay very much attention to data, ensure that we implement the right security policies and measures. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, thank you very much, Emmanuel. And can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. So thank you very much for those questions. And we can see from the demo down to the discussion, what we can see from all this is that Copilot, the OpenAI, is more like customized area by which we can build our own references with our own internal users, with our own customers, and make sure that we can use it to develop things that can actualize, improve our business, and make our business more appealing and more applicable to us. And that is uh, very important and very reasonable. So generally, I feel that we are in an era that change has come, and AI has come not just as a means of probably taking us off our circle of references or job, but actually to extend our capability, what we can do, how we can handshake with this AI or with Copilot or OpenAI to improve our productivity. So you can imagine when Osinachi was talking of what we can do in the education sector, and you can see what Joseph was talking about, the advantage that we have when we use Copilot or ChatGPT to bring about change. And we are rest assured there is protection. And when you talk of compliance, and it comes back to Emmanuel, you have done several projects on this. What do you think is one important thing that customers are usually scared of when they call of extending their the handshake to AI, or whether it's OpenAI or ChatGPT?
Yeah, thank you very much, Sheyi. So one of the things that customers are scared of is actually the protections of their sensitive data in the organization. So every organization has sensitive data that they don't want people to actually, have access to, especially people maybe below down the line of executives. So with those security and compliance, we have to ensure that those sensitive information, when they are queried in Copilot, maybe from the Copilot that was built, a custom Copilot integrated with the Microsoft Teams for the organization, they are able to ensure that when such questions are queried, it doesn't get until their access level to those sensitive information, to those documents. Once you don't have access to those documents, you'll not be able to actually, whenever you query the Copilot, it won't give you an answer because it's checking for your access level. If this sensitive information you're supposed to actually have access to it, but the moment you're not your level, maybe your pay grade, it doesn't really have access to that. Copilot is not going to bring an answer for you because it knows that that information is sensitive and your level or your grade level in the organization, you're not supposed to have such information. So since security is a big one, which organization actually look at when talking about copilots.
And it also driving what we call responsibility governance, because I remember I was trying to talk to some security folks that want to use AI, and we're talking about Copilot. And during our conversation, one of the staff actually were using the playground of OpenAI, and he was trying to use Bing, and he was asking some questions that are very sensitive, very questions that are related to Donald Trump. And he said, "Is Donald Trump in his right?" I don't know the question. I can't precisely talk about the question, but the question was asking whether Donald Trump was sane or insane. Do you know what being said? He said he cannot answer him because it is more like slamming Donald Trump and using abusive or vulgar word against him publicly. And some time there. So I said the guy was asking that section. It's like a training for me, and I was trying to onboard them to AI, the future of open AI, and what with the bank was one of the bank, and one of the staff. And I said, let's do some experiment. Let's do some real time search. While we are talking about it, if you have any question, you can just put it on the chat. We have not seen any. That's why we have some few more minutes, and we just want to talk through this in terms of what we have experienced in the field. And the guy asked about Donald Trump and the AI, the Bing system, which was actually involved with Microsoft governance process, which is the responsibility AI in terms of being accurate, being fair, ensure that you are not infringing on other people' privacy or talking down on another person. And that shows that as we begin to build AI system, we should imbibe in our system culture. Apart from security, apart from compliance, we should also drive responsibility. Make sure that what you are doing is for humanity. What you are doing is to improve your business process. What you are doing is to make life better for people around you, not to cause havoc, not to be abusive, not to be, inclusion is what should be for everybody. Nobody should be less than another person in a very culture related modern environment. So that's another thing I see with AI that we can imbibe and ensure that using this tool we can extend the functionality to bring to bring a better system for our company. So we're going to close the curtain now, but I don't know whether from the panelists, if there's anything you want to say, the last word from Musinachi to Joseph and to Emmanuel, while we hopefully see whether there's any question. I'm checking the question, but there's still no question here. So, last word.
Okay.
All right,
yeah.
Let me just give a few rounding up notes or rounding up conversation talk. So AI is not the future anymore. It's the now. It's not like the AI hype is not like other hypes that comes and dies down and everything just goes away.
Can you speak louder? Musinachi.
Yeah, I said the AI hype is not like every other hype or bubble that comes and just everything dies down. So there are real companies that are being created in this AI hype, AI. It has really got other people interested in AI. So if you're interested in AI, I actually encourage you to explore it. You might never know where your interest will take you. Today you might be demoing on YouTube. Tomorrow you might be presenting at learning in Daba, maybe somewhere in Senegal. In 5 years' time, you might be giving a presentation at Silicon Valley. So there are many tools and applications where AI can be applied, and many are under research. So if you're interested, I implore you to explore that field and do good work from it. Thank you.
Okay. Emmanuel.
Yeah, Shay. So for me, one of the things I would like to give as a take home for our audience and participants today, it's in line with what Oceanization said earlier. So for AI, there are so many now applications, that are being currently developed using the AI, and Microsoft makes it so very much available for us to even play around, having a sandbox environment where we can play around things around document intelligence, AI speech, even conversational language understanding with language services. And one of the popular one, which the ChatGPT is also doing, is the question answering in language services. Then for text analysis, or example two, that is also there with facial recognition, computer vision. So there are so many application of this AI, which I would like to encourage people to just try it out, see what this thing can do, see how you can use it to solve your individual problem, see how you can bring it to your organization and solve a business problem, because most of all these things can actually solve business problems, and you never can tell where this will take it to. So the last word is keep exploring, explore the AI, is there for you.
Yeah, I like the word. Keep exploring AI. Keep trying it out. Roland.
Okay. So for me, I like to end with this quote. So there's a quote by, I think it's Smith. It says that people fear what they can't, fear what they don't understand, and hate what they can't conquer. Okay. So I know there's a lot of fears around the AI space and movement, right? A lot of people are scared that AI is going to come and take your job. In the next 50 years, AI is going to take over the world. You are going to be replaced. That is not the case, right? Imagine centuries ago, right? In the 19th century, people were using horses, right, as mode of transportation, and donkeys. And then car came in, right? When car came in, that was revolutionary, right? We were able to travel faster. People get employment, either becoming a driver, right, or a serviceman. Okay. So what I'll say is education is very important, right? You have to learn, you have to have an open mind to really understand what is happening out there and the opportunities that this presents to us. Okay, so every all the speakers have said it. Opportunities are enormous. If you look at the world today, AI is penetrating almost every sphere of this space, from commercial to education to healthcare, right? So my advice would be that look at what you have in your hand, right? And then see how you can key into this. What are the necessary skills that I need to learn, right? Where do I need to be? Who are the people that I should listen to, right? To really understand what is happening in my world, um, rather than isolating yourself and being scared over there. So thank you so much. Keep an open mind, continuous learning. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Continuous
Yeah.
learning. Keep understanding what you learn. So, my last talk here is to say this. I end with what Nelson Mandela quoted before he died. He said that he always win. He never lost. He never loses. Why? Because at every time there are two things that happen to him. He learn and relearn. He learn and relearn. He's never saying he's going to be stuck with one technology. He's always explorable. He always explore what the next generation wants, how to get in that wave. So, uh, it's wow. Uh, it's just to be able to understand what is available there and how to use it. Okay, somebody is saying that start to see you live for more than an hour and not watching. Okay, so we're still here. So we're going to quote end with that, and we say we have done what, in summary, what we did today, is to be able to look at OpenAI environment. We did a demo on that. We also had a discussion led by Emmanuel that gave us insight on how to apply this, and his focus was more on Copilot. How can we utilize Copilot? What is the advantage in everything we do, and how we can have a better education system by using that for a student, a better company by using that for people that have work in the commercial or the startup arena, to build product that can help them. We are a little bit outside our time, and we want to say thank you for everyone that have joined us. Thank you for everyone that will be watching us later. And this is the Global AI Bootcamp, and we are registering this event from Lagos, from a group called MCT Tech Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. Have a wonderful day, and we see more of you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Thank you, everyone. So, although before we go, someone can just answer this question from Arman Kama. He said he needs to learn new technology. Any tips for him to learn? So I would just say, Arman, you can go to Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn has a lot of free content, I can tell you. Now currently they are doing a challenge on AI at this time, where you can even have a 50% voucher after you're through with it. So you can explore that. Then there's a lot of content also in most YouTubes, and also if you go to the content of Global AI, there's a lot of video that have been done across the world. We can also try to explore that area to get this content. I don't know whether any panelists can also add to what I say or subtract to it while we close. To answer Ahmed's question. Any person?
I am on. So just like Shay said rightly, Microsoft Learn has a lot of resources which you can use to learn different technologies that we have under Microsoft. So depending on what you which of the technology you are interested. Okay, you said that you currently have Azure AI Fundamental Certification. So if you're interested in AI itself, you can proceed with AI 102, which is the Azure AI Engineering Certification that will actually gives you more hands-on into each of these technologies. So AI 102 will be like a next step for you if you're interested in the AI part. And there are also Microsoft created a lot of series learning paths for Copilot. So we're also interested in learning Copilot for maybe M365, Power Platform, depending on anyone. There are actually resources available on the Microsoft Learn to actually continue your learning in AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Aman, and thank you, everybody. Have a very wonderful time, and we'll see you next time when we have another global AI bootcamp. Bye from here, and have a lovely day.
Bye.
Bye.
For over 7 years, Macintosh Consulting has been empowering individuals, organizations, and government parastatals in information technology, business management, leadership development, and finance. Through our end-to-end training services, we help our clients achieve notable landmarks with our long-standing valued affiliate relationships with Microsoft, EC Council, CompTIA, PECB, Cisco, and AWS. Macintosh Consulting offers training and certifications in diverse areas like Network Plus, cybersecurity, cloud computing, project management, Agile Scrum, soft skills, amongst many others, with guaranteed to run classes, virtual classes, on-site classes, online classes, and customized classes. Macintosh Consulting enhances career development, promotes relevance, and ensures quality delivery. Macintosh Consulting is located in Nigeria, Kenya, and United Kingdom. Visit www.macintosh.com or call 090-381-38550 or 081-409-841.
Yomi Alarape, and I would like to tell you a bit about Rugby Business Solutions and Technologies. Rugby Business Solutions and Technologies has a vision to make the world a better place through technology, and that's what we live in and out as our culture. We start from Nigeria here. We have a crop of professionals who ensures that quality is ingrained in every service we offer, definitely using IT technology to solve human problem and making life of everyone better. We do this across different verticals: healthcare, medical, oil and gas. I wait. It is time for you to transform your business, get the required insight, and take your business to the next level. You can give it a try by visiting our website at www.rugbysolutions.com/BSM.